Hello YouTube, Tim here. And what have we got here? I think you're gonna like it. This is pretty cool. This is from James Page. He makes some very interesting things and happened to send me some. So I'd like to show you exactly what it is. Very nicely packaged, and I think you'll see why once we get this open. If you haven't already figured out what it is, either by the fellow's name or in the packaging, man, I'd kill for a box cutter right about now. And magically one appears. I think I mentioned it before, but here's a pro tip. Cut away from the body. Ask me how I know. And remove your fingers from where it's going to slip to, just in case. Again, really nicely packaged. Oh, cool. So, by now you've probably figured out exactly what's going on inside this little package here. We've got some trade points cut out of, I think, 16 gauge steel. I'll have to check and see if that's exactly what they were, but here's one for example. This one is very cool. It actually looks just like a stone point would. Nifty. So all it needs to be done is sharpened up and hafted onto a shaft. That's pretty cool. There are some more in this one, a larger one and another one like that. There are a few other packages here. Let's take a look at this one next. Let's see. So in case you didn't know, James makes arrowheads. He makes them, and I've seen him selling them online on eBay, and I posted about them, 2 weeks ago now maybe? I know Lonnie on the Google Plus crafting community actually bought them from the eBay sale that I was showing, and great. I mean, he was totally thrilled about them. Showed some of the arrows that he made out of them, and they look amazing. I gotta say, this packaging is very well done. It is foiling my box cutter, foiling me, but I'll tell you what, they're not going to poke through the packaging. That's a really good thing. When you're dealing with sharp, pointy objects, I'm sure the post office appreciates it, and you will ultimately too. There we go. Wow. Nifty. Okay. Smaller, larger. I do have a ruler here, just for an idea. That one's 1.5 inches. This one's just over, that's a tiny bit over an inch maybe. The actual blade portion is from the tip to the inner portion right there up at the back is about 2 inches, a tiny bit longer, maybe an 1/8 of an inch longer to the tips there. Seem to be a few more like that in here. That is super cool. Yeah, so as far as making arrowhead or actual arrows out of stuff like this, yeah, you think that would do the job? I think that could take down a deer. I think that could take down a deer. Heck. So here are the slightly larger ones. So something that's worth noting Mr. Page is the proud owner of a plasma cutter, and that's why he's able to turn out such large quantities of high-quality trade points. If you're in the market for some trade points, yeah, just looking at these are so cool. He can make a lot of cool shapes. He's shown me a few different shapes, and I'm wondering if anything in here is going to be one of them. By the way, notice I'm cutting, yes, towards my thumb, but this is like when you're paring something, bracing it against your thumb, you're not going to cut yourself. Just be careful, but generally speaking, it's safer than it looks. And I wouldn't say anything, comment about that, but I do get a lot of comments on YouTube about people fearing for my thumbs and my safety, which is, you know, very thoughtful. But I do try and be more careful than I appear to be. Ooh, I like these. I like that. That's just minimalist, elegant. Okay. This one we're doing, call it 1.25 inches. It's actually 1/16 of an inch short, narrower than that. And let's call it, from the tip to the back of these is 1.5 inches, maybe just over 1.25 inches to the inner point there. This is narrow. That's promising. I say that because of the mechanical advantage. I'll explain that again in a minute. Actually, what I should really do is have a whole episode just on arrows and arrowheads and my personal opinions on what works, what doesn't work. I know that's bound to start an argument, and getting thrust into a controversy can't be a bad thing for for YouTube, right? Oh, wow. That's cool. Look at that. That is a wicked looking needle point. Jeez. And that thing's vicious right there too. I mean, I gotta say, as I was tearing that off, I'm lucky I saw that, because that would have stuck me like a pig. Good golly. Okay, that one looks to be about 2.5 inches to the back of the barb. That's pretty sweet. And finally this here. Let's see what's inside. I think I can make it out. This looks to be a little bit more fanciful. Yeah, I'm just going to let the knife do its work, just so I don't end up shedding more blood than I need to for this. There we go. Holy crap, look at that. Tell me that's not one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen. That's cool. Good golly. Yeah, that's nifty. And by the way, I mentioned sharpening. I'm not sure if they're not already sharpened. They don't appear to be super sharp on the edges, but that doesn't mean they're not going to go into something, and I'm not sure if trade points in general are supposed to be. So YouTube, educate me, please feel free to. But that is just sick. Look at that. Okay, so that one's 2 inches wide and looks almost, okay, that's 2.5, an eighth longer than that. So 2 5/8 inch long. That is stunning, beautiful. I would love to see that mounted on an arrow. And maybe not the most practical arrowhead if you're actually looking to take something down, but if you're looking to intimidate, how beautiful. So, wow. What a set of beautiful, beautiful arrows. Or arrowheads, I should say. These things are gorgeous. They look effective. They look highly practical. And as you can tell, he can make a whole lot of different things. So I want to suggest to you guys, if you have a need for arrowheads, take a look at this stuff. And I bet he can make up some pretty cool ones for you. Very reasonably priced on YouTube. I wasn't asked to do a promotional for the guy, but just seeing the stuff, look at it. It's cool. I get a kick out of this one like nothing else. But wow. So a big thank you to Mr. James Page. I hope you see this. Here's a shout out. Your work is just awesome. This is incredible stuff. I'm going to get to finishing some beautiful poplar shafts. I went to the local hardware store and I found some shafts that had grain that just ran arrow straight, appropriately so. So I'm going to work on turning some of them into new homes, new receptacles for these beautiful, beautiful arrowheads, these beautiful trade points. And then I'm going to have to find a vegetable and or chunk of meat or something like that to puncture and perforate with. Thank you for watching, YouTube. I hope you're getting as much of a kick out of these nasty little suckers as I am. Thanks for watching.